What's happening, everybody? It's Sean with Reactions to the Classics, and today we got another Bright Eyes reaction. This time their EP, There Is No Beginning to the Story, brought to us by a friend, longtime supporter, and Bright Eyes superfan, Caitlin. Thank you, Caitlin. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the patrons who make this thing go. If you'd like to support us in any way, check out that Patreon link below or the Patreon link on the end screen. Okay, we've got a ton of Bright Eyes stuff up. Just to go check out the Bright Eyes playlist after this video or up above. Just type in Bright Eyes. But last month, I did a little double shot, 2 EPs every day and every night, and don't be frightened of turning the page. So we're kind of running these in order. On that note, this is the third EP released by Bright Eyes in 2002. It was a teaser for their 2002 LP, Lifted or The Story is in the Soil. Keep your ear to the ground. Yes, I have a reaction to that up. The 12-inch vinyl edition includes 2 extra songs, Amy in the White Coat and a Neil Young cover, out on the weekend, and those will be included on this reaction. It went to number 14 on the US Vinyl Albums chart, which you will find with artists who have a rabid following, right? Like Bright Eyes. Like Bright Eyes doesn't have a ton of fans in the big scheme of things, but their fans are very dedicated. So oftentimes they will chart on the vinyl edition because you want to get the vinyl, right? You want to hear it like it was supposed to be heard. All right, if you haven't been on this before, the music will not be in the video, but it'll be at the Vimeo link below. So click on that and follow along with this. Let's kick this thing off with the first track below, From a Balance Beam. Not a lot of research on these songs, but kind of Roburst. I say it on every video, but I gotta say it again. One of the best songwriters of this century. I don't throw that around lightly. So we'll be going to be able to figure out most likely what every song is about. I'll have the lyrics up as always. Thanks again, Caitlin. All right, From a Balance Beam. I saw this was song 11 on Lifted or The Story is in the Soil, ... So I did that back in August of 2023, so 7-8 months ago. I don't really remember it, but that just kind of happens. Like I've dialed in on the album I'm doing, but really well done. I thought the instrumentation was good because it didn't take away from Connor, but it did add to him. I thought the guitar, the quickening of the guitar on certain riffs to bring the emotion of it. And he's just talking about kind of a spiritual rebirth, yet at the end of the day, how his life is kind of in imprisonment. I mean, he has allusions to suicide in here. Then he kind of things change, but he has a spiritual rebirth, but then he still feels like a chess piece in life, because really that's what we all are. Now I'm staring at the sun, waiting for it to explode, because the day is going to come. Don't know when it will come, and then we'll finally know the way out of here. And he'll throw away this wrinkled map and my chart of stars and compass crack. Not literally, right? But figuratively, we all have this life plan. And it usually changes as we get older. If we look back at our teenage self, and where we thought we were going to be and where we actually are, they're usually 2 different things. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing, but they're usually 2 different things. That road map to life that we thought we had figured out when we were young, right? No one else had it right, but we did. We're going to be the exception to the rule. It's usually not the case. And like I said, oftentimes, not a bad thing that it doesn't work out that way, but good way to open this. All right, next up, we have Messenger Birds Song. Okay, Messenger Birds Song. I've done a ton of Bright Eyes. I love Connor. I love Bright Eyes. But I also tell things like they are. I don't overreact to things. You're not going to see me go insane at everything. Everything's the greatest thing I ever heard because it's not genuine. But I also got to tell things like they're like, this is an awful vocal performance. If you love it, I'm sorry. I love Connor. This is an awful vocal performance. Like the worst vocal performance I've ever heard Connor have. I don't like the arrangement with it. It's just his strained vocals. He's trying to be overly emotive. I mean, maybe he's not trying to be. Maybe he feels it in the song, because I'll get to the songwriting in a minute, which is fantastic. But it's tough, and it's 5.5 minutes. It's tough. I just wanted it to be over, and I've never felt that with a Bright Eyes song. I might be wrong, so you can come at me in the comments. The subject of the song, the writing of the song, is fantastic. It's fantastic. I have a feeling it might be the best written song on this EP. I mean, we're going to find out. But yeah, I mean, it's about a guy who's suffering from depression, mental illness. He's with this girl who supports him and is with him and is reassuring him, but she's growing tired of that, right? She's growing tired of it. She's maybe not what she signed up for. Maybe things have changed, or she didn't realize what she was getting into. And so she's now just treating him like a messenger bird, which, you know, basically a pigeon. I'm going to bring in, I'm going to give you a message, and then I'm going to send you on your way. I don't want you hanging around here. And that's what it's getting to with him. Right, she's kind of just not wanting to be with him anymore, and he doesn't know what to do. So the songwriting is fantastic. The performance, not so much. So it's a 50-50 song for me. All right, hopefully I haven't been thrown out of the Bright Eyes fan club. Next up, we got We Are Free Men. All right, We Are Free Men. A little complicated on what the song's probably about, but I mean, I think almost a positive song, a little bit in the rebirth, talking about different things that you go through. But what I got to point out is, at parts of the longer it went on, the more it sounded familiar as a Connor voice. But the first half of the song, he's singing in a lower register, so it's the polar opposite of Messenger's Bird song, right? He sounds fantastic. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy the difference. But yeah, it's a good song. It's a better song on the ears listening to it. It's not as well written as Messenger Bird song because that song's fantastic, but it's well done. All right, so now we're going to come to the end of the proper EP. Remember, we're going to have the 2 bonus tracks from the vinyl, but there's also a bonus track. We can put bonus tracks on EPs, guys. What were we doing in the 90s and early 2000s? So there's a bonus track on here. Spotify always separates it. So it's going to look like a 5th track called Untitled. I'm just going to let it roll through to that because it really is one song. It's really Loose Leaves. All right, we'll work our way backwards. I'm not even sure that's a, quote, hidden track as much as it seems like it could be part of Loose Leaves, considering that's the end of the EP. Right? I mean, we're going to get the 2 bonus songs from the vinyl release, but it makes sense. Like, it sounds like the record, like that's what a vinyl sounds like when it's over, the way it was at the beginning. It almost sounds like he's getting in his car or something and leaving, like it's the end. I don't know. But I mean, I think it fit in there, and I wish they wouldn't have separated it. Now we'll get back to Loose Leaves. Like, definitely a different sound, upbeat, a little bouncy, a little distorting of Connor's voice, almost like the Strokes or somebody like that, you know, in that style. So just got everything on this EP, an eclectic mix. I really liked it. I thought it was really good. Great lines there. We're all too busy working, entertaining ourselves. 40 hours of television, or you could say the phone now, right? And prescription pills. Well, I'll take 2 a day to make my brain behave. It never does, but who's to say? At least my doctor gets paid. That is kind of the state of healthcare in the United States where I am. Some good illusion of, and it's time's not poison, but once you drink it, you'll die. So let's just sip it real slow. Yeah, we can nurse it all night. Try to believe that once it's gone, we'll pour another round and come back to life, come right back. Just good stuff, man. Good stuff. He's talking about his prep school days, and that's gone, and I know that won't ever come back. Except I won't cling to what I had in the past. It's a dangerous thing to do. But life's a slippery slope. Regrets the steepest hill. True. Hope for the best, plan for the worst, and maybe wind up somewhere in the middle. I thought that was maybe the best writing on here, just as far as a line goes. All right, next up, we have one of those bonus tracks from the vinyl, Amy in the White Coat. Okay, this is the vocal performance I wanted on Messenger's Bird song. This was it. Emotive, but not strained. This was a fantastic vocal performance. The arrangement was exactly what it needed to be. You could hear every string go on the acoustic, but just drew you in with the story, right? Here's what I think that, I mean, I'll give you an overarching. The schoolgirl's depressed and she has a horrible life, and the way he unfolds it makes you just picture her as like you're in the presence of a master songwriter that just unfolds it and you feel like you're there. But that second verse, man, I'm struggling. Like, it's her dad talking to her. Like, is he abusing her? Like, that's what I'm taking out of this. That's what I'm taking out of this, and that's why she's in where she is. And I mean, just in a horrible way. She take a shower more, this and that. The guy talking to her in the song, but you walked right by. I don't know which I said then, hello or goodbye. You know, we're all trying to be pure, but it isn't a very easy thing to do now, is it? To do, isn't it? Isn't it? But, you know, that third verse with the sun you rise, but you keep your eyes shut. The alarm clock lies, get to school on time. Where you're a warm bag of fluid, where you're a corpse in the class. You walk so near to the lockers, you lay so low in the grass. Did you get that coat from the principal? Did you get that bruise on the bus? You should wash your hair more. You should look more like us. Yeah, man, this is like a absolutely heart-wrenching song. But I mean, I think she's being abused, but I'm not 100% sure on that take, but I am 100% sure on the take. It's a great song. And the background female vocals on this are just haunting. They're just perfectly placed. Great song. All right, and our last track, it's a Neil Young cover. Don't worry, you see it below because my friends at Spotify, of course, don't have the Bright Eyes version up. We can have millions and millions of songs. For some reason, we don't have this up. So I'm just going to put that down below as a marker so you see what the song is. It's out on the weekend from Neil Young, the opener of his classic 1972 album Harvest, which of course we have a review up of. All right, let's finish this EP out. All right, Out on the Weekend. Obviously, that's a live performance. Listen, that was the only performance I could find. One video on all of YouTube. And maybe I missed some. I'm usually pretty good at searching that. So that was crazy, but really good song. It fits Connor and his style perfectly. I don't know who was playing the harmonica on there, but it was great. But, you know, the story fits kind of what you would think Bright Eyes or Connor would do. You know, he loves the girl. She kind of takes him in and then kind of leaves him out there. So now he's out on the weekend trying to hustle and make things work for him, but he can't get over her. But a really good offering on that one. Now, before I get to my favorite tracks and overall score, got to shout out Mike Mogus, as always, you know, doing some production and engineering and arranging, but also hammer, dulcimer, vibraphone, glockenspiel, mandolin, dobro, banjo, bells, and electric guitars. I mean, you talk about doing everything. Now we'll get to my favorite tracks. Really, I don't know. It's hard to pick favorite. I thought all these tracks were actually good. I'll go with We Are Free Men, Loose Leaves, and Amy in the White Coat. Now we'll get to my overall score. I think it'd be hard to find 5 or 6 more diverse Bright Eyes songs, like all on the same album, and I think that's really cool. I think this is actually would be a decent starter if you told someone you to listen to something Bright Eyes, because it would show you the versatility of them and especially of Connor. So it's always weird to rate an EP, but I mean, 6 songs is not, there's a lot of albums that have 8 songs from back in the 70s. So 6 songs is not bad. I'm going to give this an 8.25. I think it's really good. Even the song I didn't like, I thought the songwriting was fantastic. So let me know what you think of this down below. Where do you think it stacks up with their other EPs? As always, give a shout out to Caitlin for bringing all this great Bright Eyes material. Check out the playlist, as I said. If you haven't already, give it a thumbs up and hit that big red subscribe button. And until next time, guys, I will see you.